All right, Shalom, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakodash, double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, wherever you may be, to our say Shalom, Yahshua, Shalom. All right, 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, lest say he should get advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. All right, ignorant means to not know. Shaitan in Hebrew means adversary, okay? And what do we miss? Okay, yeah, Shaitan in Hebrew means adversary. Okay, getting advantage of us. All right, pull the wool over your eyes. But we're not ignorant. Ignorant means to not know of his devices. And this is not exactly one of his high level devices that he's just super aiming for or whatever. But I thought this was so crazy, interesting stuff here. How they keep creating all this digital type technology stuff for I mean, I guess for what in their mind, I guess a new world and a better world. But how we want to really figure that one out. But let's check this little robot out here. I need to see room 21 for 20 minutes. And then you can come back and see Julia for another 10 more minutes. I wanted to build a Wall-E type robot. And I learned about social robotics, the field of robotics that designs robots to work with people.
A robot program to imitate a 7-year-old girl is roaming hospitals and nursing homes in an effort to bring comfort to patients.
Now, I'm going to pause it real quick because this is something we talked about before. It was about the elderly, where they had showed a little clip about robots being companions to the to those that are like in nursing homes and stuff like that. Basically, it's like a robotic grandson or a granddaughter, robotic grandchild. And so now we have things the other way around where I mean, I can't really say it's exactly the other way around, but like you just heard her say, a robot that mimics a 7-year-old girl, which probably is not a girl in general, but just probably for this particular patient, but it's like a robotic companion, in other words, okay? So, and there's a major disconnect to today's society because of digital technology, man. Okay, people who are overwhelmed with their cell phones and stuff like that. Okay, and so you have a major disconnect from person to person, and it's all because of Esau's technology.
The Associated Press reports the robot named Robin uses artificial intelligence to provide emotional support for children and adults while also helping to alleviate stress on medical staff made worse by a shortage of workers.
Nurses and medical staff are really overworked under a lot of pressure, and unfortunately, a lot of times they don't have capacity to provide that engagement and connection to patients.
Robin bots.
Now, it says they're overworked. Okay, I get it about being overworked. But what about the staffing, shortage or problem? Like, no one ever talks about that. And then when you think about something like Jacob's Trouble, things are going to be super terrible because if people are feeling like this now in the hospital, what's going to happen when folks start pouring in, when things are happening? The hospitals are going to be overcrowded. They're probably going to eventually shut down. Esau will probably even cut off having certain, medicines and things of that nature. Who knows, okay? Where you may not even, whether you can get to the hospital or not, you may not even be able to get your so-called medication or something that you need, okay? I was driving the other day and I saw this Walgreens that was just randomly shut down. I don't know how long, but, so what if, something like that. But that's just, kind of random thought, just thinking in your future time.
Now at 30 medical facilities from California to Massachusetts, helping people of all ages, a crucial component of her role.
The primary goal of Robin to comfort patients during their stay in medical facilities and provide engagement, entertainment, emotional support. One of the examples is a pediatric use case where kids are admitted for a long hospital stay and they are experiencing different type of medical procedures and a lot of them are painful. So Robin is a companion that stays with them.
The emotional support bot is only partially autonomous, with the rest operated by a team of support staff, but the ultimate goal is to have her function on her own. She's currently capable of playing patients' favorite tunes, conversation, or a game of tic-tac-toe. Robin is also capable of catching on to emotions and will reflect a patient's mood when interacting with them.
And I get it. It's not really the child or the patient or whoever per se. It's just that when you look at the overall picture, you see that Esau is creating some kind of technology for everything. Okay, robots are taking jobs, robots for surveillance, robots for maids and nannies and butlers. Got you serving as waitresses, and robot for this, robot for that, robot for everything. But where's the human connection? Okay.
Even been known to lift spirits.
Yeah, I think the patients definitely know who she is. She takes turns in every patient's room, spending a little bit of time with them. And you can tell that the patients, when she, enters the room, they light up because they know it's their turn.
And efforts are reportedly underway for Robin to eventually take the vitals of patients and relay it to the rest of the medical team. Researchers also say they plan to program her to assist elderly patients with changing their clothes and bathroom visits. For more on this story, download...
What? I don't get it. How is that robot going to help the elderly change their clothes and help with their bath? I don't get that one. So they lost me on the end part there. But maybe I don't know, instructions or like maybe time, like an alarm clock type of thing. I'm not sure how that's gonna work. But yeah, like I said, this is just a quick one. It kind of stood out to me. Just how Esau has some kind of robot for something, a robot for everything. Okay, but what was the ultimate? You can say it was ultimate goal, but I forget his name. I call him Dr. Evil. What he says, they're trying to make a fusion of man and machine. Okay, and it starts now by people getting used to, machines and stuff like that. Even when it comes to the MOTB, people are used to like swiping and tapping the credit card. And the next level is the device gonna be under your skin. Okay, and people don't think that's coming, but okay, you don't have to believe it, but when your paper dollars ain't here, you believe it because that's where it's going. Ain't no more paper dollars, no more yens, euros, rubles, whatever your paper currency is all going digital. Okay, and so everything is going to be under your skin. And so that was the whole point. All right, I mean the video itself is just one thing that stood out to me, but we see where everything is moving towards this whole digital age. All right, because this is the way that Esau thinks he's going to take over the earth. All right, through his digital system. As a matter of fact, let's get one more scripture since we're here. And I'm gonna punch up enterprise, because ultimately, whatever Esau thinks he's gonna fulfill, the Lord's not gonna fulfill. Okay, and there's right there, Job 5:12. It says he disappointed the devices of the crafty. Okay, devices. Mahashaba, thought, device, his plan, his purposes, his little evil inventions. Right. See, he's calculated these things. Right? It's pretty much all the same there. So yeah, his thought, his device, his plan, his purpose, his invention. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Their enterprise is their new world order, and it calls them crafty. I wrote one, crafty, subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible. Okay, prudent. Okay, and that's going back to that serpent in the garden, man. That's what these people are. They're the sea line of that serpent way back in the garden, because it wasn't a snake, that was a man. So the Lord disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. Because at the because part of their technology is the building of nuclear missiles, right? And that's exactly how their whole power structure is going to be destroyed, man. Okay, by nuclear fire. They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. And that's exactly what these devils do, man. They plot, and scheme and ploy. Okay, woe to them that devise iniquity and were evil upon their beds when the morning is light. As a matter of fact, I might read that one real quick, just to get a couple of scriptures here. Like I said, the video is one thing, but the overall point, here it is. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. You see, that goes into their blessing, man. They were given the fatness of the earth and the dew from heaven above, and that great sword to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another. And the scriptures say that they accomplish a diligent search. Okay, so they're constantly planning on how to overthrow the earth, and their main target in that overthrow is always you Israelites, because that goes back to the womb, Genesis 25th chapter. Last scripture here, Job 14:5, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Okay, because in all this plotting and planning and roboticizing, if that's the word, of everything, okay, trying to make everything digital system, surveillance everywhere, robots doing everything, people's jobs being taken, people own nothing and being happy. Okay, at the end of the day, the prophecies say that they're going to be taken down, okay, in the worst way. All right, country destroyed by nuclear fire. There are people taken into 1,000 years of captivity, and after the 1,000 years is up, they're going to be destroyed by fire. All right, so it doesn't matter how many robots and plans we make for all different kinds of things. It's all going to come to naught when that time comes. So that's pretty much that quick AI chat there. We'll leave it at that. So Lord, will you edify? Shalom.